This story begins as a shadow clone warrior named Whitemitts. She is a quite awkward, swift-pawed, and quite foreign maiden. She just padded outside the warrior zone, sitting down and going near the patrols that made Majesty start a ride. While the cats rested in the big moss nest, a loud crash with a big shake. It was like some sort of earth shake, but it wasn't. A loud truck honking could be heard outside the camp. Whitemitts' heart jumped at that sight. It was surprising to hear something like a human mechanicism that came. But of course, we're about to go back here then. But soon they had to go back to their dens, because all of them had forgotten they were nocturnal. Of course, Whitemitts curled up into her murky scented nest, patting her tail on the ground before slowly resting her head down. Of course, all the other cats have been chattering and maybe sleeping or sharing tongues, but Whitemitts already had fallen asleep before some cats would even. But of course, Canary Wing and Jay Siege were sharing a nest, and Mountain Rush was nearly about to go to sleep. And the others, well, some were already asleep, so it was honestly a good day. Scartooth had just returned from outside, and he sat in his nest. But they have always Sunheat had just arrived from outside as well. She curled up into her nest. So many cats were arriving from the outside. Was it always that they always had, well, slept here? Whitemitts decided to open her eyes for a little bit. She didn't know why Shadowcone cats were this nocturnal. They sometimes had to stay awake at the day. It's not like she wanted to sleep all day and just only wake up at night. It wasn't fair. She decided to lay her head down again, as so many cats crowded around and slept. Though she didn't know what could happen in the future. The hum of wheels overfilled the silence that has long pulled within the camp's primary concave. Whatever some so many cats were they heard so many frustrations, and the sound of trucks overfilled the night. But while all the cats were sleeping, they had heard sounds from two-legged mechanisms. And the type of mechanism that were not good. Whitemitts remained the same before. Whitemitts immediately wanted to go to Majesty Star as she heard the sound. With pinned ears and a worried gaze, she looked up towards the sun before staring overhead. Though that the warriors did not know that was going on, everybody was still laying down asleep, not even caring what was going on. Was Whitemitts the only one who cared? She went back to sleep. She went back to her sleeping position. She was still worried what would happen. But of course, all of them, they knew something was going on. It wasn't the kind of good. She heard kids sort of crying. Of What's happening now is just a distraction. But of course, no, everybody could have it. Now look that. Mom, you here?
Yeah, is he asleep?
No.
Where's his bottle?
I don't. It's on Journey's bed.
Okay, bring him here. I'll put him to sleep.
Okay. Oh wait, I just passed by you. I thought you were downstairs. It sounded like my green. It sounded like your green smokeman. No, I haven't seen it.
Nowhere. I just had it up here, right there. Just up there. Hold on, Cassie. Okay, okay.
All the cats have not cornered with a big boom. Dust and more flew into the air. The birds and other critters flying away. Loud cars honking and going off. All the cats in panic, waking up.
I just had that thing.
Oh, here it is. Wait, oh, thought it was. Whitemitts would completely react with a shiver down all the way to her tail. My tail. She jumped up and would investigate. And everything faded to white.